Dun da da da! More dinosaurs! Woo! So, this is the Dino Charge Megazord in 3 pieces. We have the Tricerazord, which is in pink. If you were following everything going on back in what March or sometime during the summer, we first saw this thing, and this thing was purple. And then people got mad, and for pretty good reason. And then they made it pink again, thank goodness. I never understood why they tried to make it purple anyway, because, well, it would have been inaccurate to the show, first of all, and two, they wouldn't have had to worry about people not buying it, because these 3 came together like I figured they would, and if they wanted the whole Megazord, they would have had to have gotten a pink thing anyway. So if they were worried about it not selling because of this thing, well, then they were stupid, because this thing was going to be, they were going to be packaged together anyway. Then we got the Stegosaurus, and then the T-Rex here. Stegochi, Triticera, and Gabutera, respectively, for those of you that are yelling at me, trying to get me to say the Kyoryujin names. So we got another Charger, and this is a clear T-Rex Charger. The spikes, the back end, the front piece are all clear. It says T-Rex on the back. I know you can't see it, but it has the 4 modes. I'm going to do this anyway. I don't think I've actually used this charger in here yet. So that's that. We will be needing him for things, but not now. Let's start with Pinky here. First thing you notice is that the horns can't go backwards. They kind of put these here to kind of make up for it. Paint details, I think it's missing some silver in places. But for the most part, I really don't see anything. This tip is supposed to be yellow. I know that much. That's about it. One thing about the Stegosaurus and this is that you can take these off and switch them around. I'm not going to show that because it just give you an idea. And they do have features. Her mouth does open. Take this. I know it's the wrong charger, but whatever. And then just poke it in. Tail pops out. No, you cannot close the mouth with the chargers in. They don't go in far enough for you to close. So if you want to leave the chargers in, you're going to have them jaw dropped or something. To get them out, you just go in here, push this up, and then you can push it up all the way and take it out. And then close. There you go. Here's the Stegosaurus. Really good shade of blue on him. Once again, I think there was some silver missing, but I think that's about it, though. Maybe some color on the inside of his spikes up here, too, but that was about it. His mouth does open as well. He's happy to see me. That was terrible, I'm sorry. That's all he does. Poop that out. I put it in backwards. Haha, I knew I was doing something wrong. Let me just leave him like that. Calm down, Skippy. And then we got the big boy himself, the T-Rex, or Gabutera. I do know some paint details missing with him. The front nose area of his head is supposed to be black. It's not. The back is missing paint, and it looks kind of bad, but then again, why would you look at him from that side anyway? He's missing some silver on his legs, and I think on his feet. These shoulder areas for the Megazord are supposed to be black, and I think this thing is a little bit more sleek than it was, which I actually heard is a good thing, because I heard that this thing was really big. on Kyoryujin. So, and this is not a button because this thing does not have the sound gimmick that Kyoryujin had. And I think it's made pretty obvious with the fact that it only comes with one charger instead of the main threes chargers like Kyoryujin did. But there's nothing really wrong with him. You still got your arms articulation, you got knee or leg articulation here. His mouth does open to where you can put the charger in, and then his hair pops up. So that's his battle ready mode. Let me take that out. I want to use this for something real quick. And that's about all there is to him. I mean, the three of them standing here together looks pretty good. There's nothing really special about them. They just look good as display pieces together. So how do we get him into the Dino Charge Megazord? Pop her mouth open, roll her front legs back, and then roll her back legs together. Try to make the yellow lines as straight as you can. And I say that very, very loosely. And that's all I got to do for her. Take him and basically do the exact same thing. Front legs first, and then the back ones. Line the yellow up the best you can, and there you go. Those two are ready. Now for the meat of this thing. Pop the tail off. It does kind of make him front heavy when you do that. I just now noticed that. And then open this up. Take that side. Wrote him up like this. Bend those down like that. Straighten his legs out. And how his feet work is that, let me show you. Let me pop off one of his legs real quick. Oh, well, it's stuck in there pretty good. Okay, I don't know if you can see this here, but there's a little bump right here on the bottom of these inside pieces. There's a little cup on this raised up part on his foot that's supposed to go into, making them stick together. So you kind of have to pull on his feet a little bit to make them go down just enough to where that goes in, to where these kind of lock together. Straighten this out, rotate him around like this, open his legs up, the helmet will fall out, and then you've got this right here. Take the backpack and you're going to put it on backwards on the bottom two clips back here. It doesn't matter which way you put it on, but I like putting it on that way. So I'm going to demonstrate that you can put them in there with the charger in. Something like that. So you don't need the chargers to put them on here, obviously, because look at their mouth. There are these two clips right there that just plug into these. There is a slot up here, though. There is room for you to put a charger in their mouth for some clearance. And then it just kind of snaps into place. Like so. Same with him. Just line the pegs up and go crazy. And then flip the head up and slide the helmet on like you did with the legendary Megazord. And booyah! The Dino Charge Megazord. You can pop this off and fold this up and just put this in his hand, because there's the handle there. And there's a sword. Now, as you can see, his arms are long, very long. I think they're a lot longer here than they were on the actual Kyoryujin. He honestly doesn't look half bad. Uh, Kyoryujin's design was kind of hit and miss for me. I enjoyed some aspects of him. I didn't enjoy other aspects of him. But this toy is actually pretty good. Um, he doesn't have any real leg articulation as expected. Uh, he has a few Zord builder ports up here on his shoulder, here on the back of his legs, or on the side of his legs, and that's literally about it. So if you're those kind of people that dislike the Zord builders things for some reason, then you don't have to worry about them being splattered all over the place like there was on Legendary Megazord, but that was mostly due to his add-ons needing places to put things. Um, I'm assuming most of the Zord builder ports on here are like they are for the Legacy line, as in they're only there to help serve the purpose for his later lines. Um, so that's good if you're really against the Zord builder stuff. He's about the same size from toe to head, not including the head of the T-Rex here, but from head to toe, he's about the same size as the Dino Megazord and the Legendary Megazord. I'm talking about the Legacy Dino Megazord. So he fits in with the others. If you've been collecting since Samurai, he fits in with the other Megazords of the Zord Builder line just fine. He's definitely the widest, though. From side to side here, he's pretty wide, and his feet are huge. So he does take up a little bit more space lengthwise. You want to get a view from the side. Plus, with the sword in hand, um, he's pretty sturdy, actually. I've heard some issues of Kyoryujin being very flimsy and had a hard time of kind of staying together. Um, but this guy's very sturdy. You don't have to worry about him. I know he's got some leaning issues, but that's only because his feet are kind of oddly designed. But he's not going to fall over. There's no way he's going to fall over. You don't have to worry about that. Um, but yeah, there really isn't anything bad I can say about this guy. I think he's better than the legendary Megazord only due to his. Well, honestly, I like Kyoryujin's design more than Gokai's anyway, so that's a plus. He's a little bit more sturdy. He's better to look at, that's for sure. Um, he doesn't have any more functionality than this with the Dino Chargers. But then again, the Ranger Key gimmick with Legendary Megazord was kind of a forced-in thing anyway. You didn't really need to use the keys. If you want to open his mouth up, there's just a little button on the top of his roof that you can push, and there you go. So yeah, I have no objections. But then again, like most of the current Megazords nowadays, it's all about the other things that you can put on him that really makes him stand out. And I was always a fan of Kyoryujin Western's design over the base Kyoryujin. So of course, the Raptor and Parazords were the two I was really hoping, would really spruce this thing up a little bit more. And he kind of does. As you can see here, though, the backpack isn't nearly as obtrusive as it was for Kyoryujin. So yeah, I really do like him. He's a little bit more sturdy. He looks better than the legendary Megazord. Um, I think I've pretty much said my thoughts on him. So if you want if you want a Kyoryujin, but you don't really care for the sounds or not, then this thing's perfect for you. You can spruce him up with some paint, because I have seen people do that with the legendary Megazord and stuff, where they touch up on some of the missing paint details. And if you do that, this thing will be perfect, I feel. I'm not a person that's all about sounds. I kind of think sounds should stick to the morphers and weapons. So I'm not going to be complaining, oh, it doesn't have the dance music when they're putting them together, because I'm not kind of a fan of Megazords making sounds. Although it did give him some character. It's not something I'm going to cry home about. So there you go.